How to stop shanking number 2. And there are 5 ways that you can hit a shank, maybe more, but 5 ways that I know of that you can hit a shank without the obvious reason of standing just too close to the ball. But how to stop shanking number 2 has to do with your center of gravity, or your centers of gravity. I would like to think that there are 2 centers of gravity, one kind of maybe in the lower midsection by the belt buckle or the belly button, and then another one up by your neck or your sternum. And the reason I think there are 2 is because I think you can take these 2 centers and you can offset them and maintain a neutral center of gravity. So if I move my hips back this way and my upper body to the left, I've offset them and I'm still in the middle. Or if I move my hips this way and have my upper body move to the right, I offset them. So that's dealing with how I can offset my centers and still maintain a center of gravity that's neutral. But we're talking about the second reason, or another reason to shank the ball, is to have your centers, or your gravity, move toward the golf ball. So I see this a lot of times when people set up. Sometimes people set up way on their heels, have the club go back too far to the inside, and then as they're trying to gain some balance, they'll move their weight out over their toes, and you can see how this motion is bringing the club out away from my body, and that's going to bring the hosel closer to the ball. So one way to fix this would be to have my setup be more neutral, somewhere in between my heels and the balls of my feet, or maybe I could even set up on the balls of my feet and feel myself work more back down into my heels as I'm coming into the downswing. As opposed to being forward or extremely back, I might start just kind of on the balls of my feet and have my weight work down into my heels as I come down. And that would bring my centers back away from the ball. Versus, like I said, a lot of people will be back here, get the club back inside, too far back on their heels at the beginning, and then they'll raise and move toward the ball. That's bringing the hosel closer to the ball, and that's where their shank comes from. So again, this second way, or this, in my video series, it's the second way. The second way to hit a shank here would be to have your centers moving, and I'm not really concerned about what they're doing this way, whether they're together moving left or moving right. In this situation, the guys that are shanking because of this, they're starting, and they may not be starting too far on their heels, but they're getting somewhere in their swing where their body's out of balance. And so they've got to move this way to get back in balance. And when they move their body this way, the club moves with it, it gets outside the ball, and so the club will go from what might be a pretty neutral position to over it, and then we're hitting off the heel. So as I said, you can find a way to start maybe on the balls of your feet or kind of in the middle of your feet, and then sink down into the heels as you go. That will ensure that you're not going to be moving this way into the ball, and that if anything you might be just moving back a little bit into your heels. So hopefully that's helpful for you. If this isn't why you think you are shanking, then check one of the other videos.